Welcome back, you beautiful and crazy watch people. My name is Josh Town, and this is the Town Watch. Thank you for stopping by today. In this video, we're doing a full review of a Space Jam watch from UNDONE. Now, a few months back, they came out with a new Space Jam movie with Lebron James. I haven't seen it, so don't ask me about that movie. I did see the original when it first came out as I was a kid in the 90s. I went to the movie theaters and I really liked that one with Michael Jordan, but don't really have interest in the new one. But this watch is based off of that new Space Jam movie. It's a unique piece from UNDONE, and I'm excited to dive into it in today's video and do a full review on this interesting piece. So let's jump right in. All right, here it is, the Space Jam watch from UNDONE. Let's just jump right into the specs and features of this watch. I'm not sure the model number, but the movement being used here is the Seiko VK63A Mecha Quartz movement. The crystal here is a sapphire crystal. Case material is 316L stainless steel. Case diameter is 40.5 millimeters. Although the bezel does overhang ever so slightly, and I measured that to be 41.7 millimeters. Case thickness came in to be 12.8 millimeters, 47.9 millimeter lug to lug distance. Lug width is 22 millimeters. The band material is some sort of resin. I'm not sure exactly, couldn't find any information on that. Water resistance is 100 meters. The weight is 86.4 grams, and the MSRP price is $369 US, although you can a lot of times find deals on the UNDONE website and might be able to find it cheaper than that. This particular version is limited to 300 pieces. I happen to get the number 23, which I think is quite interesting, being Michael Jordan's number. I thought that was kind of cool from the original Space Jam. I don't even know what LeBron James' number is, but Michael Jordan's was 23, and so I think that's pretty neat. But they do have a version of this watch that is not limited, which I think is customizable in a number of ways. But if you want this one, it's only limited and it's numbered. So pretty interesting piece. My initial thoughts is that there's a lot to like about this watch. There's a lot I do like about this watch, but there are a number of things that I don't like, and ultimately those things hold me back from keeping a watch like this. It's a well-constructed watch. I like the case shape. I like the strap, but I'm not a fan of some of the design elements on this dial, but we'll get into that as we go throughout this video. Let's start by talking about the case of this watch. It's kind of a tonneau shaped case. I'm probably butchering that French word, tonneau, but that's the case shape that is going on here. There's no real lugs that protrude out of this watch. You can see that the strap kind of just fits right up inside of there, but I enjoy this case shape. I think it looks great, and I'd really like to see UNDONE use this same case in some other watches that they put out. These pushers here are actually screw down pushers, so they're well constructed in that way. You can lock them down and unscrew them. Screw down crown as well. There is a DLC coating on this watch. Nice kind of matte black finish to that coating. I think that looks good as well. Case back is a screw down case back. It is open, as you can see, so you can see that Mecha Quartz movement. Kind of has a frosted look to it with the big Space Jam logo in the middle of it as well. Again, the crown on this watch is screwed down. It is signed, as you can see, and I measured it in to be 6.3 millimeters if you're interested in that information, and I found that it was easy enough to use and adjust the time. The bezel here is fixed on this watch. It's that tachometer bezel, and the text and the numerals are actually engraved into it, which is great. The dial on this watch. Let's talk about the dial. There's some things that I like, some things that I don't like. I understand that this is a Space Jam themed watch, so it's supposed to be fun in that sense. But honestly, I'm not a fan of the characters that are used on these two subdials in particular. On the left here, you get Lebron James. On the right, this is supposed to be Bugs Bunny. Now, the right subdial is a 24-hour subdial, and this one over here is the timing subdial, but it's split up into 4 quarters like in a basketball game, and then you get some overtime sections as well. So that's quite interesting. The third subdial down here at 6 o'clock is a running seconds, as you can see. But these two in particular, I'm not a fan of the characters that are there. I would have liked to seen just some simple hands, I think, to keep track of those things. First off, because these are hard to read. I mean, where's the Bugs Bunny pointing, and where's LeBron James? You know, where does it actually start and stop as far as timing? I assume that it's his arm, because it's over here at the beginning of the first quarter. But Bugs Bunny is a little bit harder to read, in my opinion. So the legibility of the subdials aren't the greatest, and really the legibility of the entire watch itself I found a little lacking as well. Now there's some things I don't mind about this dial. I don't mind that basketball texture that is there. I think that is pretty cool. I like the indices on this watch, some large rectangular indices with kind of a black paint painted down the center of them. The lume is lacking on this watch. We'll check that out in a moment, but just with the legibility overall, I think this is a no-go for me, and those subdials, I just not a fan. But you guys let me know what you think of them down in the comments below. Let's turn the lights off and check the lume. Alright, here's a quick lume shot. Charged it up just briefly with my UV flashlight. And you do get some lumed pips on the outside of the dial and some on those hands, but it's really lacking overall. So the strap on this watch I was actually really impressed with. It's very soft, it's very pliable. I found it to be comfortable on the wrist, no break-in time needed. It's got some thickness to it, but in spite of that, it wears really, really nicely on the wrist. You do get those quick release spring bars, which is always a plus. And I think it matches really well to the case. Just even the color of it matches that DLC coating really well also. And I do like the buckle on this watch. Kind of got some venting on the sides, and looks kind of cool. It's very robust. As far as I can tell, it's made out of some sort of hard plastic material. But I was impressed with the strap, so I like that. All right, let's jump back in front of the camera, and I'll share some final thoughts about this piece. Well, there you have it. That's my full review of this Space Jam watch from Undone. And honestly, there are things that I like about it and things that I don't, as you saw throughout this video. Things I do like is the case shape. I really do enjoy the case shape of this watch. I really do enjoy the strap of this watch. Super comfortable right out of the box. And overall, this is a well-constructed, solid piece. But the cons that I mentioned with the dial and those characters that are there on those subdials is not for me personally. I understand this is a watch themed after Space Jam, but those characters, I just don't enjoy them. I think they look kind of funny in my opinion, but for other people they might like it, and that's the beautiful thing about collecting watches. Everybody has different tastes, and that's okay. But this one is not for me. I did enjoy this piece, but really I'm probably going to be letting it go. I want to hear your thoughts about this watch down in the comments. Do you like this piece in general? What are your thoughts about the dial and those subdials in particular? Please leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and interact with you down there. And if you like this video today, please help us out by hitting that like button. It really goes a long way, and we really appreciate it. But thank you for tuning in to this video today here on The Town Watch. We'll see you next time.